Luke Jenkins due up for UNCG. Wofford has put up a couple to make it 8-2 to try to carve into that lead, but UNCG would like nothing more than to answer back and continue to tack on runs in what becomes kind of a single baseball game of 18 innings. You want to keep that momentum going here in a doubleheader, regardless of where they're at in game one.
Yeah, you'd like to see the bats get going a little bit here late for the Spartans as Radens has come in, Dylan Radens for Wofford, and he's really pitched very well in the middle innings for Wofford. We talked about the amount of pitchers you have to use in game one of a doubleheader can be crucial for game two, and while it looked like Wofford was going to be in trouble having to go to their bullpen very early, well, Radens has done excellent, and he's only their second pitcher of the day. We'll see if he can get through the seventh.
He walked the first batter he faced, and then since then, he has been perfect. Now dealing in the seventh inning to Luke Jenkins. Jenkins 2 for 3 on the day. He has scored twice for UNCG to account for 2 of the 8 runs on the day. Fouling it off is Jenkins. So quickly down in the count, 0-2. Radens looks in. Kick and a deal. That one started outside, stayed outside. If you put your finger over the runs scored column out on the scoreboard and saw 6 hits for UNCG to Wofford's 3, had you not noticed the 3 errors for Wofford, you might think this game was a little bit closer, but instead a 6-run cushion for UNCG.
And you'd probably think it's low scoring as well. Instead, 2 of the 6 hits for UNCG, the 2-run homer in the first and the 3-run shot in the first inning, and that did most of the damage.
Oh, and there's the rip. Luke Jenkins says, "Are you sure that was on the plate?" But of course, home plate umpire Matthew Cornahan says that pitch got on the black, so count a strikeout for Radens. So Branton Jernigan comes to the plate. 0 for 2 is Jernigan on the day. Jernigan takes high for ball 1. Been really impressed with Dylan Radens stepping in today. I know you pointed out that he's been nearly perfect, but coming in with a 7.84 ERA, we were not expecting several innings of excellent work by him. Can't say enough about Dylan Radens.
Yeah, that ERA has already fallen over a point today from 7.84 to 6.66 as he continues through this game.
That pitch in the dirt. Stopping it is Lucas Manning. So we'll do it again. Defensive swing from Jernigan just to stay in this at-bat. Keep it at 2-2. 1 out, bottom of the 7th. Time a drive down the right field line, just foul. That had 2 bags written all over it. You see the shrug of the shoulders from Jernigan. He was wishing that one fair so he could get on base.
Jernigan today without a hit. Did walk, came around to score in the first inning, but fly out in the second and a strikeout in the fourth.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be one of the ones left out. You never want to be one of the batters that has no hits from a starting perspective, particularly when there's been the long ball and other things happening for your teammates. Home run from Parker White and also Jacob Budzik, both of those in the first inning. 5-run first inning, cushioned with 2 in the second, 1 more in the third, but since then Dylan Radens has come in and tossed nicely. Another foul defensively. Jernigan just trying to hang in that at-bat to await another pitch that he can get on. Most batters will tell you they only really get 1 or 2 pitches to hit in any at-bat.
And He's in a fight here. Radens hasn't been challenged much. Not many deep counts.
And that one in the dirt. So good take by Jernigan.
Yeah, that's probably the best at-bat we've seen from a Spartan against Radens.
Yeah, and the key there was a discipline. Fighting off several strike pitches, just fouling them off was a Jernigan hanging in there. He now stands at first base. So now Jacob Budzik, I mentioned a moment ago, that big home run. He also has a double to his credit. 2 for 3 is he on the day. This time a drive hard past the third baseman, Lehman. It'll get into left field. First pitch single hit hard by Jacob Budzik.
And you just mentioned maybe only getting 1 to 2 good pitches to hit in an at-bat. Budzik saw the first one and said, I'm taking it. Fastball right down the middle, and he drills it out to left field. That's the first hit for UNCG off of Radens. That's the first hit for the Spartans since the 3rd inning. Again, had a base runner on a drop third strike last inning, had the walk right there from Jernigan, but Budzik with the first hit off the lefty.
Now 1 out, bottom of the 7th. That pitch up and off of the helmet of Brantley. Truitt grabs his gear and tosses it off and says, hey, I'm just glad I'm not harmed. I think that's one of those where you get a little frustrated if you're the batter, you know, for a ball that is just so clearly coming at you. As we get a glance at that pitch coming at him. He's very lucky.
Just couldn't quite get out of the way, and you said it. I mean, he's not even in any pain. He just kind of flipped the bat and walked down to first base. He got lucky. It hit on the right part of the helmet, and for the Spartans, the bases are loaded.
Yeah, bases jammed, a good spot. It's the first time we've seen Dylan Radens truly tested. We were hailing his successes through these middle innings, but now getting roughed up a little bit. He got the leadoff runner out, or leadoff batter out with a strikeout, but since then a walk, a single hard hit from Budzik, and then the hit by pitch has Tyler Steele in business. The bases jammed with 1 out. Bottom of the 7th, 8-2 UNCG looking to add some insurance here. Steele 0 for 3 on the day. Steele began to see some playing time when Truitt was injured earlier in the year against VMI. That's Trey Truitt who was injured, so now Steele seeing time in center field for UNCG. Tyler Steele standing at 6'3". He is undeterred by the 6'5" Dylan Radens. Tall versus just as tall here in this matchup. A drive into left center. Charging back is Breeny. Breeny got a good read on it, collects it, tagging up, and charging home is Jernigan. Jernigan will score on the sac fly from Tyler Steele.